What's up, guys? Got the heater going, getting the shop warmed up. We're ready to start another project. Let's do it. Alright, so we got some new components for a tool that we already had. We got a punch and a die for 1.25" pipe. So what we're going to be working on tonight is some guardrail that goes around an access doorway at the top of a ladder. I decided it was time to buy the punch and the die for 1.25" pipe because that is the standard size for industrial handrail if you use pipe. The punch and the die are expensive, but I figured, I don't like just buying it to buy it. I wanted to wait until I had an actual project where I would use it. So we should be able to use it on this project. This is what the punch and the die look like. So you lay your pipe in here, just like this one. You use the iron worker to drive this, or at least that's what I use. So we got to swap out our tooling so that we're set up for 1.25" pipe. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I also picked up some pipe, so I got to bring the pipe in. I've already started cutting some of the pieces for it, but I'll show you guys what we got. All right, so here's kind of the rough sketch. 37 inches wide, 37.5 deep. That's a top view, so it's kind of a horseshoe shape. There will be a middle guardrail that goes around the whole thing, and then 4 base plates. We'll go ahead and keep working on getting our parts cut. Once we get all our parts cut, I'll show you guys how we're going to put this together. Alright guys, so let's give you a look at what we got here. So this is what we got so far. So obviously this is the opening. It's upside down right now. So I do have to cope 2 legs that will mount right there and right there. And then I've got the guardrail that comes across here, here, and here. The next order of business is going to be to figure out the length of the legs right here and here. We'll get those tacked on, then we can get our middle rail on all 3 sides. So that's going to be the next order of business, but just got told my dinner's here, so I'm going to go eat. We'll catch up with you after I'm full. Alright guys, we're back after it today on our guardrail. So here's where we're at. You can see I've got the opening drawn on the table. It's probably hard for you guys to see, but there is soapstone on the table. So once I got to where I was starting to figure out what the length of these vertical legs are, right now the structure's upside down, but I gotta have legs that go right here. So once I started to figure out the length for those, I realized that if I put the leg on this corner, you're not exactly lined up. These 2 legs on the back end here are actually going to sit inside because they're not exactly on the corner. They sit in just a little bit because of the radius of this. So I went back and forth on what I should do there, and this is what I decided to do. Pulled my measurement. I know I needed to be 42 inches. So I did my deductions, and then I decided I would put an offset cope on the bottom of the pipe. When I say an offset cope, you can see this is not centered. The cope is offset to one side. Now the reason I did that is because when I set that in there, you can see the pipe, it actually pushes the pipe to the outside corner, which makes it a little bit more in line this way. So it's still about a 1/4 inch off of where it needs to be, but that's going to be close enough. We still have enough room. We'll still be able to fit our base plates where they need to go on the outside of the access door. So that's what I decided to go with. Now, I could have done it the way I was originally going to do it and 45 the corners. That would have put the pipe coming perpendicular off the corner exactly in line with these. But the drawing shows radiused corners, so I wanted to do it like the drawing showed it. So I'm going to start getting these legs fit up. Then we can measure our crossbars and get those tacked up. So we'll start fitting this up, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, we got this all cleaned up. Hopefully you guys could see in the time-lapse video what I was doing. So I took my flap disc, knocked the weld off on my joints, made sure there was no pinholes. If there was pinholes, just hit it again and then knock that extra weld off. So I get it roughly smooth with the flap disc. Then I come back behind it with the Scotch-Brite pad and just kind of try to blend it. I don't want rough spots on it. I want it to look like it was just molded or bent pipe. Kind of looks like an old walker. I'll be shit for when I get old. Alright, so once we did that, we hit it with a wire wheel, and it's pretty much all ready to go. We're going to have Bridger wipe it down with some acetone or brake cleaner to get all the oil and dust off of it, and then we got to paint it because the customer wants it ASAP. So we're going to do that now, and we'll go ahead and paint it. Once we get it painted, we are going to do primer and then paint on this one. So once we get a coat on there, we'll give you guys a look. You can see I've got the opening drawn on the tape